the city?
Yeah, we're just heading up for the weekend.
Can I see your license, please?
He wasn't driving.
I didn't ask who was driving. I asked to see his ID.
Call me Dean if you're hungry, my man. So how long has this been going on, this thing? We hired Georgina and Walter to help care for my parents. When they died, I couldn't bear to let them go. Do you smoke in front of my daughter?
I'm gonna quit.
She'd take care of that for you. How? Hypnosis. I'm good, actually.
Are you ready for this?
How bad can it be?
So look, I go do my research. Apparently, a whole bunch of brothers been missing in this suburb. But it's cool. Bro, how you not scared of this, man?
Good to see another brother around here.
Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here. Get out.
Sorry, man.
Get out! Yo!
Rose, we gotta go.
Is everything okay?
Rose, the keys. Just get the keys.
I don't know where they are.
Rose!
Sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sit.
Mom, terrible thing to waste. Terrible thing to waste.
If there's too many white people, I get nervous.
Maybe. Aloha! This is Trinidad, your island man, coming to you live once again from Hawaii. Well, it's currently Sunday, the 26th, Sunday the 26th, and I just got out of the movies. Guess what I saw? Any guesses? Well, you just saw the trailer for Get Out. And let me just tell you, I did watch a couple of reviews prior to going to see this movie. I watched Chris Stuckman's and Jeremy John's, and both of them were spoiler-free, and essentially they did not tell you anything about the plot. Now, this review will have just a few spoilers, and I'll go ahead and list that over here on the side when we come to the spoilers. Let me just tell you, first off, all I got from those two reviewers is that it was kind of supposed to be a horror movie. I don't usually go see scary movies or horror movies, and let's just say my idea of a horror movie is some guy running around with a hockey mask and maybe a machete. So, I'm kind of old school like that. This was a kind of a psychological thriller slash horror movie. The best way to describe it would be the Stepford Wives meshed with Meet the Parents. Okay, you got it? The Stepford Wives with Meet the Parents. And there you go. That's the entire movie. All right. My job is done. No. Now remember, our rating scale here is Shaka thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shaka thumbs down. It's junk, and I don't recommend it. I went ahead and I saw the matinee today, and let me just tell you, if you can hear me over this silly dog back here, overall, this movie has gotten quite positive buzz. Everybody seems to love this movie. It apparently had a very high Rotten Tomatoes thing. I didn't look at the Rotten Tomatoes, but that's what everyone is saying. And again, it's gotten very positive reviews. So, with our rating scale of Shaka thumbs up, good to go, good to see, or Shaka thumbs down, it's junk, it's bad to see, what am I going to say? For me, I got to say Shaka thumbs down. I saw this movie on the matinee. So I didn't pay full price, and if you aren't interested, I would have to say, you should do this. This movie's got a lot of positive buzz about how it treats race relations and such. So that's why I think of Meet the Parents, because it was a white family, a white woman, taking her black boyfriend, soon-to-be husband, fiance, over to meet their parents. And this is pretty much the same gist of it at first. Now, the second part then comes into play once, this black gentleman is in the country, meeting the parents. He discovers that there's some subtle racist tones there. They're not overtly racist. They're not, saying, well, boy, in my day, we used to hang you from the tree out there. No, they don't do any of that. So it is a little high class-er than that, but it is still, stereotypical in racism. They say, hey, there's a golfer there, an older man who golfs. It's like, hey, I knew Tiger, you golf a lot. Yeah, hint, 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 stuff like that. The father goes ahead and says, hey, my man, what's going on? It's like, just kind of, hit you over the head, showing, hit you over the head, subtle, overt racism that kind of goes like that. Not just, talking to the person's color and not actually to the person themselves. Or at least the stereotype that, is seen in popular culture, I guess, sports, things like that. But outside of that, I have to say that, it's nothing like that. Why I give it the Shaka thumbs down. Primarily, it is a slow movie. I can't even say it's a slow burn because, the intensity just isn't there at the beginning, through the beginning and the second half of the movie. It's all very subtle and slow. Stuff starts to kind of pick up slightly once he gets out of the city with his girlfriend and they visit the parents in the country. But other than that, even then it's still slow as it builds towards this mystery, of this guy kind of looking at the Stepford wives here. There's something off about these people in the country. Her family, her relatives show up for a big family gathering. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, for this big shindig. And, all of them kind of look at him in a different way. There are some servants that the parents have, who are also black. And, and they're not quite, they're not quite interacting as, normal people would. They seem kind of out of it, maybe drugged, maybe, under some type of spell. And, they're, so again, very much like the Stepford Wives, very much like Meet the Parents, without the positive spin on, or the positive outcome of Meet the Parents and everybody's, happy and they get married. No, that doesn't happen. So I'll go ahead and go into spoilers now. So spoilers. So essentially, why it's like the Stepford Wives, or there's something off about it once he gets to the country. The mother is a psychotherapist, hypnotizes him to help him stop smoking, but then he starts to have these nightmares. So he feels that something else had been done to him. The other, black people there's only like 2, maybe 3 others that he runs into that are so off the wall and strange that, he thinks something's up. He thinks that they're hypnotized. And right off the bat, you get the sense that, she must have hypnotized them. Maybe it's some witchcraft or something. In addition to that they're just under control. They're under some type of spell. They're not themselves. And so, unfortunately, I was biased a little bit by the reviews that I had seen and some of the talk about the movie. Slavery per se, that people are, they hypnotized them, put them under the spell, so they're keeping slavery alive. I'm glad to say that it's not quite that. It's a little bit worse, actually, in the fact that there's a medical procedure that they do after the hypnosis to these black people. And honestly, it could have been anybody in the movie, so they don't say that they target specifically black people. It could be anything. It just kind of goes with the trends, they say. And they say this in the movie, black is in at the moment. So that's where they go with, kidnapping these black-white males or even females. And essentially, through this medical procedure, they do a brain transfer with the elderly people in their family so that these white elderly men and women can be young again, but in black people's bodies. So Invasion of the Body Snatchers maybe too, but definitely, I gotta say, Meet the Parents and, Stepford Wives all the way. And that's essentially it. Like I said, the last portion of this movie, the last half hour, that's where it really finds its stride up until the end, and then it's really good. Like I said, for the last half hour, the third act of the movie. But up until that, it's kind of interesting as you're trying to figure out what's going on in this movie. But overall, I got to give it a shock of thumbs down. It's just a little too dull during the first and second half of the movie. If you want to see this at the movies, wait until the matinee. I strongly suggest the $6 on Tuesday at Regal, or Thursday for $6 at Consolidated, or better yet, just wait till Netflix, and you definitely won't be disappointed with this movie. It would make a great movie for, Halloween. I'm kind of, at a loss of why this movie kind of came out in February. Like this, but then again, Split came out in December, and again, I gave that a shock of thumbs down too. So, and again, because it was slow in the beginning and second half, and only picked up at the end. So, yes, there's some intrigue, there's some interest there, but for me, it's just not enough to recommend it to you for full price, definitely. And honestly, I'd say just wait till Netflix, or again, see it cheap at the matinee. All right, this is Trinidad, your Island Man, giving you the movie reviews, the best ones here on the island of Oahu. All right, well, take care. Aloha.